At some point around the Christmas period, everybody who counts in England has submitted to William. And at that point on, he is able to rule with a semblance of peacefulness. The crucial thing is that the English are submitting to him and that he is making peace with them and selling them back their lands, which sounds very sort of, I think, offensive or cheeky to people who say, well, how dare you? These have always been my lands. But William's line was like, well, you rebelled against me. I'm your lawful king. You chose to support Harold. Harold was a usurper. This is the Norman logic. And so in rebelling against me, your rightful king, you have forfeited your lands, but I will graciously grant them back to you in return for a payment of, a large sum of money. But in all of this, although this might sound unreasonable, the great contrast here is what happened after Canute's coronation, because Canute said, don't like the look of you, and chopped the head off. So the thing that is striking about the Norman conquest as compared to the Danish conquest is that William in the first instance is presenting himself as Edward the Confessor's legitimate heir. He's not styling himself William the Conqueror. Canute and the Vikings, this is the beautiful simplicity of Vikings. They're unapologetic about that. It's like, we won, we smashed your faces in, and now we're in charge. William is basically saying this has been a legal dispute that's now been settled by God Almighty on the battlefield, and now I'm your legitimate king. I'm the confessor's designated heir, and you are my lawful subject. So they submit, and he gives them their lands back. And the consequence is you get initially this enormous tension between the surviving English, who are many, and the newcoming Normans, the incoming Normans, who have been promised the world. They have been promised riches galore. So how do you balance everyone's expectations? I would like to have the lands I had before the conquest. I would like the prize I was promised for risking everything to help you win this victory. That is the balancing act of the opening years of William's reign, and it doesn't go terribly well.